Hi everyone, this is Nidhish. I'm Vice President and Head of Transformation in JP Morgan. I'm also the founder of FinSapient Institute. Today I'm going to share my work experience and also my life experience, more importantly, since last 20 years. So before reaching to this point, when I'm working with corporate and running my educational institute, I'm also the board member of various colleges. There have been 2 decades of constant effort, constant struggle, the learning, and some mistakes, some bigger mistakes as well. But I have ensured that I have been learning continuously, whether it is a mistake, success, failure. So today, looking back, I can connect the dots and I can see how I have benefited from each life event, and where I worked in 3-4 different countries with various Fortune 500 employers. All this has been on the basis of the strong footage of the first few years of my graduation. So here is a little story to share with you and some learning outcomes. When I was 19 years old, I had just completed 10+2 exam, appeared for some engineering test in India, abroad, scholastic aptitude test, etc. Then it was a tough time because of the 9/11 attack, and I finally decided to move on with life and selected one of the business strategy and finance program in Liverpool University. Long story cut short, after intermediate, which was completed in a small town in Bihar, I was sitting in a large classroom in a major European city. It was a cultural shock. It was overwhelming. I was kind of apprehended as well. And moving from science and mathematics background to a business and accounting finance, it was another change and challenge for the mind to grasp. First 3 months were not at all great. I was not doing well in the first 3 months. It was another point to make me anxious and nervous. Marks were not great. I started to fail, in fact, in the first 3 months. But then I had to collect myself. I had to gather my confidence and started to focus on what really matters, why I'm not doing the things correctly. And gradually the improvement started to come. Subsequently, by end of the year, I started to do well. Marks started to pick up and I passed with decent grades in the first year. The real challenge was going to start in the second year. So I was part of I was studying for a sandwich program. Sandwich program in UK typically means that we study for 2 years in the college, then we go for a kind of a placement or internship in a bank or financial services in the third year. We complete a thesis and project. We work full time just like any other employee, and then come back to college to complete the fourth and final year. So to do that, I had to first clear the interview, and it was just going to be as competitive as it is for anybody else. There was no kind of concession for the articleship or internship students. It was just a competitive way of selection for the banking positions. And having gone from India, not knowing the culture, not understanding how the interviews are done, what kind of questions are expected, and so many, there are so many different limitations and weaknesses that I had. Of course, I was not able to handle the interview questions and interview at all properly. So first 1, 2, 3 interviews and rejections, I was thinking that it's okay, fine. But it started to continue. So every time I was going for an interview, few days later, I was getting the call from placement office that I am rejected and here's the feedback. And I'm grateful for those feedback from the placement office. I'm grateful for the feedback from the employers. And that is the best thing that I count during those times. Employers were giving the exact, precise, and constructive feedbacks. Placement office were recording it accurately and passing on to me. And I was ensuring that I'm working on each and every feedback, sacrosanctly, religiously, without any compromise. I was perfecting the art of interviewing based on those feedback. So that continues, the process continued. I was still not picking up at the speed required. So within 7 to 8 months time, which was ending around 11 months of that duration, I got almost 10, 11 rejection. And finally, I had a week left to get the articleship offer and get into the articleship year, which was my third year. If I had not been selected, then I had to join the final third year as an academic year, and I would be switching the course. I will not be part of the sandwich program. I will be part of the other bachelor program in the business and finance. And that would be a wrong impression. Also, it would have shattered my confidence, my ambitions, and would have left a dent on my overall self-image and my confidence as well. But I was going ahead. I was just trying to make my best effort to see what the destiny holds. My last interview in the last week of the opportunity I had, that was successful. And I can't believe how it worked. I was sitting outside waiting for the interview results. Generally, they take a couple of days, but on that day, they just immediately say that I'm successful and they are happy to make the offer. That was an amazingly unbelievable moment for me. Now, what is the learning point? And that entire U-turn in the situation was not done in a year, in a day. It was done in an year. Continuously, I was trying to work on the feedback, improve, learn more and more books on the interview techniques. I was learning different kind of scenario, which is generally asked in such interviews, very psychological questions, different type of subject-related questions. I was trying to do the mock interview with myself in the mirror. I was trying to take the help from friends, those who were knowing me. And with this kind of mock feedback and continuous learning loop helped me to perfect the art of the interview. Now, I see that those were the really, really constructive year, and I'm still benefiting from those duration and the practices. Because after reading all the books and working on the feedback, I have made it a practice. Even if I get a feedback from a client or from my manager or anybody in the workplace or in work life, basically, I try to understand what is the feedback all about and how to improve this. Plus, those art of perfecting the interview and understanding the question and giving the required response, understanding the approach of the interviewer, it has still been helping me. Often it happens that I go for the interview and I was kind of expecting what is going to be asked. I would not say that I know the question, but at least I get an idea of what people are looking for, what kind of candidates they are looking for, what kind of rules are required, what is the expectation behind, or what is the anticipated answer when a particular scenario-based or psychological questions are asked. So the key takeaway is ask for the feedback from the interviewer, work on those, do a lot of mock interview, practice it with friends or with your mirror. Improve your communication. Have an elevator pitch ready for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. If somebody asks you, how are you, what is your strength or weaknesses, how can you make the contribution to the organizations. So keep all these questions and answers ready. I will definitely do another detailed session on how to attack and handle such questions in the interview, how to prepare the resume, and how to build your own personality, executive presence, etc. But this was just a quick reflection on my own experience in last 2 decades, and I want to share with you. I would love to hear your feedback, your questions, any query that I can help you with. So stay tuned, and we'll talk further about how to plan the career, how to work on your improvement areas, and do well in life. And I'm equally open to hear your opinion, thoughts, and feedback so I can improve myself further. Thank you so much for listening, and happy learning.